Hi, I'm Josh George, and today I'll be talking about Pac-12 football. I know Marcus Mariota and some other guys from Oregon come to mind, especially when you talk about points and high-flying offenses. And I know they're a huge pick to win the Pac-12 this season, but we'll get to my pick later. Right now, I'm going to talk about some of the lesser teams in the Pac-12, like Cal. I don't think Cal will win a game. Yes, that's right. 0-12 for them, and I know you're thinking, don't they play Sacramento State and the Hornets? Yeah, they play them in the non-conference. Yeah, they'll lose to them. 0-12 for them. Now Utah's 2-10, and Colorado Buffalo, who's winds up at 5-7, just like last year. Those are some of the teams that won't be in a bowl for this conference, but this conference will have a lot of teams in bowls this year. I think Arizona makes it to a bowl like last season. I think Arizona will be 8-5. I think that Washington State will be 7-6 and wind up in a bowl. Oregon State will probably pull a big upset, perhaps, and won't get to 7-6. They do have a quarterback who led the league in passing last year, and he returns. So I think that helps them get to a bowl game. I think Washington is the most fundamental football team that you will play this college football year. I think that will lead to at least 9 wins this season. I have them at 9-4. Then I have Arizona State coming off their 23-37 loss to Texas Tech in a bowl game after almost winning the conference. As a matter of fact, they got to the conference championship last season, but I think they'll fall a little shorter than that, and I think they'll go 9-4. USC is a team that has a chance not only to get to the conference championship, but win the conference championship. If USC winds up getting to the conference championship, they'll likely play either Oregon or Stanford. But the problem with Oregon is they're not keeping up in all the recruiting things. Like Oregon just got a new chef for their dorm room kitchen and things like that. It's a college football arsenal, and USC hasn't kept up ever since Lane Kiffin and Pete Carroll left. So I only have them at 9 wins as well. Now let's get down to the big deal. Stanford and Oregon. Stanford has cornerback Trenton coming back for next season. He'll get a lot of interceptions this year. He'll do really wonderful. Turnovers will lead to wins. That will lead to a lot of wins, but I don't think that they can wind up beating Oregon, and I think at the end of the day, they'll have 2 losses. Now, the Oregon Ducks have Marcus Mariota coming back. I think he'll do a lot for them and possibly even win the Heisman Trophy. But they do have to play Michigan State in the non-conference, and I think they'll lose that game despite what many others think. I think after that loss and losses to UCLA 2 times, I think they wind up not winning the conference, but in fact in the conference championship, and that'll keep them out of the playoffs. UCLA has the best chance to go undefeated and win the conference. I think UCLA Bruins do win the conference. I think their hardest game this season comes, in fact, in the non-conference because they do host Stanford this year. If they wind up losing to Texas, that's only 1 loss for them and probably still puts them in the playoffs. And I don't think they will lose to Texas. I think they will wind up winning and going undefeated and possibly being the #1 team in the nation when it comes playoffs and maybe even a national championship for UCLA. We'll talk about them a little bit later in further segments. That's all.